Now it seems to be that when we are talking about Edgar Burroughs and Tarzan of the Apes, it's beautiful, the translation of the title. The title is really good title because it does reflect that the translator knows what is the story about. So therefore, of course, I always say that the title should be translated last. That's why you will understand the story better, and then therefore you will be able to get a good title for your translation of that particular ST. So Tarzan Rabibul Qurud is a beautifully translated. We notice that the name of the author is ignored by the translator, by the academic who has translated this piece. And in the Arabic, we find that the author is not mentioned, but only the translator, who has translated by. But the title of that chapter, which is Out to Sea, Al-Ibhar, is beautifully written. Now, what are the issues that could be really seriously affecting this? Of course, generally speaking, this translation can actually score up to 90 or 95% in terms of accuracy, in terms of style, in terms of the command of the Arabic language and understanding English, but not fully. That's why it's 95%. Now, what are there are, 94, 95, because there are lots, there are 6, actually in total, 6 issues, and there are strategies that are being used here which require attention. Now, what are the main ones that I will just go for? You will notice that there is an omission, and the omission is in the title, for example. There's collocation. There's a problem of collocation where it says that it is strong mentally, physically, and ethically or morally. So it's called translation split. You have to split it. I will explain that in a minute. And also there's one case where it's incorrect equivalent. There's a grammar issue. There's an inaccurate detail in Arabic as compared to English. And there's also a shift in there. Catford's shifts. So these are the 3 or the 6 points that require attention. The first one is about the omission. Of course, the name of the author is not being translated, and also his date of birth and death is also omitted, which is not acceptable by any means. Now, when it comes to كان قوي العقل والأخلاق والجسم, this is what the Arabic says. If you go back to that video, the one before this one, you will see what he says. He says قوي العقل والأخلاق والجسم. From the word strong, then strong mentally, ethically, and morally, and physically. Now, the word strong here, cannot be for mentally strong. In Arabic, we have to look for this collocation. So, for example, for the mind, when it's strong, you say سليم العقل. You don't say قوي العقل. You say سليم العقل. And as for your morals, you don't say قوي الأخلاق. You can say نبيل الأخلاق. أخلاقه نبيلة مثلا. فإذا الكولوكيشن تبع أخلاق يختلف عن الكولوكيشن تبع العقل in terms of strong. I know the English says strong, but it's not, the collocation in Arabic is not. So here this is what reminds me of James Dickens, who talked about translation by splitting. And that is what's happening here, because you got the word strong, but it's actually strong mind or mentally, and strong ethics or morality, and strong physique or physicality. So, but in Arabic, you can split the word strong depending on the collocation for each of their of the mind and the ethics and the body. So you say سليم العقل, نبيل الأخلاق, قوي الجسم. This is how it should be. So this is for a collocation. You have to be careful when you are using the adjective for certain nouns. And then after that, we can look at that his wife, the wife of the main character, the Lord, Greystock, his wife. Now his wife is fair young wife, described as fair young wife. Now fair here does not mean جميلة. ترجمتها حسب الترجمة اللي موجودة في الكتاب زوجته الشابة الجميلة الشابة. لا، هي ما هي جميلة. كلمة fair لا تعني جميلة بأي حال من الأحوال. عندما تقول fair، كلمة fair أصلا لها عدة معاني، لكن نحن نتحدث عن وصف لزوجة اللورد هذا. فزوجته is fair. fair يعني شقراء. زوجته الشقراء الشابة أو الشابة الشقراء. فإذا هنا ليست زوجته الجميلة. This is incorrect equivalent. Then we have كان، يعني يصفه، كان أحد الشخصيات، كان ذو شارب أسود أشعث. كان ذو شارب أسود أشعث. Here there is an issue in grammar, in Arabic grammar. Can you believe this? I mean, here we have an academic who is making mistakes in grammar in the target language, which is Arabic. كان هو، ما بنقول ذو شارب أسود أشعث، إنما نقول كان ذا شارب أسود أشعث. فإذا كلمة ذا لأنه هو يعني الخبر predicate of the nominal sentence، كان ذا شارب أسود أشعث. هنا there is another issue of grammar. Then we move on to the next description. He was an average, above average, okay, in height. Above average in height. He wasn't average, he was above average in height. This is what the source text is saying, above average. Now when we look at the Arabic, the translation of that one, we will see that it says كان متوسط القامة. But the English did not say he was average in height. He was average in height. No, it says above average in height. يعني كان أطول بقليل من شخص متوسط القامة مثلا، أو كانت قامته أطول بقليل من رجل متوسط القامة مثلا. فإذا هنا here the word above average is not average, it's above average. This is number, shall we say, number 5. And then the issue of number 6. كان الربان وحشا في معاملته لرجاله. Here I think it would be better to introduce a shift, which is what Catford shifts, if you remember, where we can put in, instead of putting a nominal sentence, he was a brute in his treatment of his men, we don't have to translate it literally as وحشا في معاملته لرجاله. We can say كان الربان يعامل رجاله معاملة متوحشة. يعامل معاملة متوحشة. يعني هذا هو الذي نعرفه في المفعول المطلق باللغة العربية. عامله معاملة، ضربه ضربا ساحقا أو ضربة ساحقة. So it's just to enhance the actual target text to the extent that the target text is really better, rendered better. And this is really one of the... so if you look at these ones, we will find an omission, an issue with collocations, or what you call translation by splitting. And then we have the word inaccurate equivalent, and we have a grammatical issue in the target language as well. We have inaccurate information, detail about the height of the person, and we can introduce a shift and say that the captain was treating his men in a brutal way. And that is for today's comments on this particular text. I hope that you have found it useful to you. Now, I am not going to grade, I've graded it as 94, 95. Maybe you can say less than that because of some of the issues with the grammar and the accuracy. Eye to detail. Very important to keep an eye to detail. Now, the translator, of course, being involved in the understanding of the source text before producing the target text, might have actually done such issues and such problems that needs to be attended to before you can perfect your translation. And I hope, of course, I've covered the name of the academic who has translated this piece, so that it will not look that I am trying to make it personalized. I don't want to make it personalized. I'm trying to be objective in my comments. I hope that you really understand and appreciate that I am not going to be taking it as a criticism, but critique, where I've actually highlighted the positive and negative in the earlier and this video, where the translation is really a good one, relatively a good one, which can be like Aridul Mankabain and so on. So there's quite a lot of good style there, and he's kept quite a good close to this, and I like the title, the way he has translated it, which is excellent title for the chapter and for the actual novel itself.